Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. It's Basic Dude, and we're going to continue our basic training. And as you see, the last mission we did was the evacuation. And right now, we're going to go ahead and visit that laboratory, see if we can do any upgrading. Nothing's available to us currently. Take a look around again. Always punch those little white highlighted items in the cantina, in the laboratory, the armory, and on the bridge. There's a number of different achievements attached to those, so go ahead and do that. Checking in with Mr. Hill. You see we've added a new mercenary unit, the Devil Dogs, which are beefed up fire bats. Now we're going to go ahead and visit that armory. There's Swan and Rainer. And in our armory, there's some upgrades available for Firebat. And right now, we're actually looking at the missile turret. And we are going ahead and going to obtain those two upgrades for our missile turrets. The missile turrets are going to be used in all our missions for defense. They seem to be able to take out and take care of most of the air units which will be opposing us. So again, these are pretty valuable upgrades, and I like to get them when the money's available, and even though we probably won't be using them in the upcoming mission, they are going to become handy in the future. Now again, we're reviewing our mission board, and you see we've got 3 planets, and this one is Great Train Robbery, which is on the planet Tarsonis. That's an interesting mission. This is Welcome to the Jungle. And this is Dr. Hansen again, and she's up on Meinhof. And actually, she's going to introduce us to the Hellion. Kind of hesitate here, I guess, and not launch immediately, and I'm not certain why I did that at the moment, because we're going to come straight back to this screen and launch the mission. But I must have had something in mind. Anyway, let's go back and launch this mission, in which we're going to get 2 Zerg research and 110,000 credits. The Meinhof mission is kind of an interesting mission. Again, we're playing this at the casual level, so it's going to be quite simple.
So what are we looking at, Doc?
We'll give you some statistics.
Our readings indicate some kind of
what the differences are between the various levels.
Even the buildings are
But
being
again, here's
colonized.
the opening cinematic, giving you some more background
It's a Zerg
of the
virus.
mission.
All we
And
can do
there's
is burn it out.
Rainer
Every one
and
of those
Hansen
infested
kind
buildings
of
has to be destroyed.
going over what the
Where
situation
are the
is.
people?
Again, interesting storyline.
Oh,
Actually, a
things
fairly
are
interesting
infested
mission,
refugees? This is a
and
nightmare.
fun to play.
This ain't
Yeah,
good at all.
very simple at the
It looks like they burrow
current level,
underground
but it'll
by
give you an
day
idea of
and
what
emerge only
what
at
we're going
night.
to do, and
The virus
give
must
you a
make
chance
them
to do some
vulnerable
planning
to the output of Meinhof's
when you
star.
advanced into the normal
We'll hit the infested
hard
buildings
and
by
brutal
day
levels.
and protect our base at night.
There's a
Don't worry
fire
about it.
bat
We'll contain this thing.
from the evacuation mission, and they seem to be pretty predominant here. And so now the screen's going to be loading up. By the way, I think I said previously that the fire bats were a melee unit. They aren't actually a melee unit, they're a range unit, but the range is 2. And 2 is in your face, so for me that's melee. Whatever. I think differently. In other words, range unit is I don't have to see you to kill you. So there we go. But anyway, when this thing loads up, we're gonna take a look at our base, and the mission objectives. There we go. First thing again, get your SCVs on minerals. There's 3 entrances, exits on our base. The 2 there and in the northeast and northwest, and then 1 in the southwest there areas. We want to set up bunkers in the 2 north areas right now. The south area actually doesn't even open up until the 3rd night. Open up for attack or whatever. It's got some debris scattered in front of it right now, so we don't have to concern ourselves with that particular entrance. So again, after we get a couple, add a couple SCVs to mining at our tech lab and reactor to each of the 2 barracks that are provided in the game. We want to keep, get this thing going. We're going to go ahead and fill up, not actually fill up, but we're going to partially fill the bunkers with our original forces. I'm putting a fire bed in each of the bunkers. We're going to do a total of 4 bunkers, 2 at each entrance right now. And you may want to play around with, the bunker configurations. You can put as many as 3 there. But you will kind of limit your ability to go in and out of the base, and it's very important because this mission actually gets played outside the base. But again, let's go ahead and fill these bunkers in with some of our forces and move forward. Again, we want to keep on expanding our SCV gatherers. We want to put some on the gas geyser, and we want to build up a force. The objective of this mission, if you look in the upper left-hand corner there, is to destroy all 144 structures are on the map there that are infested. And we'll get to see a little bit more of that when daybreak arrives and as we enter into areas. And it's quite a bit of effort, but as you'll find out, or as you'll see here, we're going to be able to dispatch most of that at this casual level quite readily. And we'll go again into some of the differences between the levels above casual, so that you don't get the misconception that this is just a rollover. Again, this is a training mission. We're going to make it exemplary of what you need to do, but what happens in the other levels is not consistent with what happens here. So anyway, and here we are in our first night. So during the night, what we want to be doing is building up our forces, gathering minerals, and getting that type of situation going. Now there we go. We got some of our SCVs started on the gas. Gas again being important for the medics, for the marauders, for the Reaper, and the fire bats that are available for us, or to us, for this particular mission. You want to play with bunker placement. You can move them up a little bit from where they are. You can move back a little bit from where they are. I find where I place them now is most beneficial for being able to enter and exit the base. I have occasionally inserted a supply depot between the bunkers as additional barrier against the incoming zombie attacks. But again, you've got to be cognizant that they need to be raised at night and lowered at daybreak to let your forces out. If you're not going to be cognizant of it, then you might as well leave the gaping hole there because it ain't going to make a bit of difference. But anyway, this is somewhat of a interesting mission. Now the Swan's going to bring in the new Hellion unit in a second here, and he's going to bring us 4 of those, along with the factory, from which you can produce more. The Hellion is a really good unit in the single player and multiplayer games. I have not found a lot of use for them in the missions. They're more of a scouting unit. They're quite speedy. They're pretty soft, and I don't think they deliver quite the punch. So again, being a marine or water kind of guy, I kind of like that. I prefer those over the Hellion itself. Not that speed isn't important, and there are occasions where you can employ them, but myself personally, I do not. And here we go. We're getting our 2 barracks there and setting up the rally points for them. And again, all we're doing during the night is mining and building a force. This is what you want to do. There's nothing else you really can do because you're actually defending against the Zerg attack. Now the Zerg attack is composed of the infested Terrans, which are, again, a fairly weak unit. The composition of the infested Terrans is the colonists, if you will, and then there's a second type of infested Marines. Now the infested Marines are more dangerous than the Terrans, the zombie Terrans, in that they shoot, or they carry guns, they shoot, they have a little bit of range, they will cause more damage. Additionally, there's a unit called the Aberration, which you'll notice him, he's going to be a purple, kind of, I guess, ant-looking type of unit. Here we go, this is our first day out. We're going to take our forces out, we're going to put them into action, and I would suggest that you take as your first goal in the action the base just north of you. And the reason I like this base cleared first is because if we ever need an expansion, that is the closest expansion base. And I've needed an expansion base when I played this at the brutal level, and I think I might have even used it once at the hard level. That's how much difference there will be, or there is, between the various levels. I will tell you that if you can, what you want to do, there's a number of different areas, segregated areas throughout this mission, and if you want to meet the hard level achievement, which is destroy 15 buildings at night, you want to not destroy every building in every area. And what I mean is try to leave yourself one building in an area. That way you won't have a big grouped area to which to attack to during the night. becomes real important because at night each of those buildings spawns the attackers towards your base. And if you've got one in an area and you've got your forces there, you've got an overwhelming force, it makes it a lot simpler than trying to attack against an area of 15 buildings. And actually I will say that with a force of 90 some odd combat units moving into an area comprised of 15 infested buildings, you're not making any headway. You're barely able to hold your own, let alone decrease the number of destroying the infested buildings. Again, that's at the hard and brutal level especially.
Keep it up, fellas. We can stop.
Just to give you an example of what we're talking about here, the differences in terms of the mission. At the casual level, the daytime is 8 minutes. At the normal level, this will actually drop to 6 minutes. At the hard level, it will drop to 4 minutes. And in brutal, it's only 3 minutes. So again, quite a difference. Quite a difference. And that means that's the free time you have between the attacks and the time that you're able to go out there and destroy their buildings. Now, conversely, the nighttime, the time during which the Zerg are attacking you, is 5 minutes both for the casual and the normal level, but it's 4.5 minutes during the hard and brutal levels. So again, you've got more nighttime than you do daytime at the hard and brutal levels. This gets very significant. Now the other thing, this is probably most important, is you're going to see we're melting away a lot of these buildings. It's almost a rollover here. And at the casual level, just to give you an example, a biodome, which looks a little bit like the command center. You can see that right there at the left end of our screen. Has 825 hit points attached to it. And the normal level and up, it'll go up to 1,250 hit points. The bunker has 200 hit points at the casual level, 400 at the normal and above levels. Infested barracks at the casual level have 500 hit points. At the normal and above levels, they'll take 1,000 hit points to destroy them. So again, this is very significant. We're melting these buildings away like they're soft butter, and they are. So again, just to emphasize, when you're doing this mission in all the other levels, kind of spread out your leftover building, and if you're trying to achieve that 15 at night achievement, otherwise you'll put your forces at risk, and you'll also put your mission success at risk, because it'll take a toll on your forces. You will need that northern mineral base to complete the mission successfully, because they're going to tear you up. So again, going forward, we're closing in on first day, and we're really shooting up those buildings. Again, these weakened buildings, weakened in terms of the hit points required to destroy them. Even though we've got a small force, we're just ripping right through them. And so again, keep it in mind. Let's keep on going. We're gonna do this thing right. Here you see we've gone ahead and set up our 3 bunkers in the southern section there. We've got them 3 lined up right now. They're covered by debris, so there's no attacks into that area. And we're just filling them up with defenders over and above the defense attributable to the bunker itself. Now you want to start bringing your forces back inside your base around that 30 second, because 30 seconds seems to be a magic number. And again, the reason why, if you leave them out there, they will be shredded by the Zerg attacks. And you're going to end up not winning the mission, not achieving the objectives of the mission if you have no forces. As you notice, I'm adding an extra bunker to the configuration here, and I'm kind of triangular orientation, leaving some space again to enter and leave the base. Very important, because he's got 100 forces. Quite a parade trying to come back into the base. And now we've built up some forces. We're going to build the last supply depots required to the 200 cap. We've just been informed now during our second night. And if you see the 2 yellow crosses, there's these items are now the Zerg research credits we're obtaining. And they're infestor units. And they only spawn at night. So again, to achieve our Zerg credits, we will have to venture out into the night and the dangers of the night with all the Zerg forces. Let's see if we're going to get a little bit of a screenshot of the attacking Zerg forces here. You see they're kind of melting away. Again, the casual level attacks are not severe. They are casual, and they give us a chance to train. So we're going to keep on building up our force to an extraordinary amount. We're going to go to 200, and we're going to do our job and our duty. To make sure that we can get this job done. Again, this will be a much more tense mission in the upper levels. So the training here is build, train. Again, the turret, the bunker turret, gives us the equivalent of approximately 1 Marine. And these are 6-slot bunkers, and we want to enclose those. Now again, at the normal level, you won't necessarily need that 3rd bunker placement. At the hard and brutal level, I definitely believe you need them. And they want to reconfigure them. I've reconfigured them so that you could place 4 at the entrances. 3 is my standard, if you will, configuration. And if you look at the tower in the middle there, where the sensor tower is, you can actually even put a bunker on the left side of the tower to help assist you in defending that area. The bulk of the attacks are going to be up against your northeast base, and then after the 3rd night, after that south base is open to attack, that'll be the hardest area. And those areas give the Zerg the most exposure to get their troops up against your defenses. So we'll keep that in mind. Those areas will be hard pressed. Again, at the normal and above levels. As you see, again, we're facing the attacks. They're coming in, and we're still building our forces. Got a few more to go. We've got another minute and 10 seconds to daybreak, when we can go out there and get some payback. And so again, we're gonna keep the mission rolling. My troops are comprised almost exclusively of Marines and medics. I've sprinkled in a few Marauders. No fire bats. I think they're too slow. And again, I'll use the term melee unit. They need to be right there, and I like to have ranged units here. So again, now we're gonna get ready to send our forces out. We've got quite a sizable army there. We're going to make some mincemeat out of it. Now, if you look at your mini-map, you'll notice that you're pretty much able to clear up that entire north section, especially the northeastern portion of the map. So we've only got northwestern portion of the map. The eastern, northeastern, and eastern portion of the map, and the south to clear out this time. So we're going to go ahead and
Don't forget,
do that.
you have to be back by dark.
And noticing again that we have an 8-minute daylight period. When you get into Brutal, you'll have a 3-minute daylight period. And the buildings will require twice as much firepower. So again, when you get to Brutal, good luck. Again, try to save those. Segregate one building in an area to attain that 15 at night achievement at the hard level. Here we go. Now we're going into that eastern area. And don't forget, we haven't attained any of our research credits yet. And we're actually going to hold back in a little bit here. Pull back and not do any attacking. Totally idle for a period, just so we can attain our research credits. And also attain the hard level achievement of 15 buildings at night. But as we're going through here, now when you get into this southern and southeastern area, you will run into a couple of spine crawlers. Again, they may take a toll on your forces, but they're not insurmountable. And I don't know why or how that guy got out, but we're going to send him back into the base. We've got a few more Marauders there that haven't joined the group. We're going to have them join our fighting troops. And here we go. We're going to surround the biodome here again.
You've dealt a serious blow to
825
their
at
numbers,
this
Jim.
level and
You're doing
1250 going forward. So big significant difference. Here we're coming into this area. Now, in terms of your units, you may want to do a lot of the move command when you've got an army this size. And there you see we've got the two of the spine crawlers, and we focus fired them down. But I say use the move command to get the forces in the middle of the building. Again, that scoot and shoot, so that all of your forces have the opportunity to engage a target. You want to 80 units in a group, and only 12 firing or hitting anything is not efficient.
I'm not detecting any
So,
more infested
again,
structures
bear
in
that
that
in
sector,
mind.
Jim.
I like this, huge troop movement situation, but I also use the scoot and shoot maneuver, I hope extensively enough to be efficient. If you want to have smaller groups, which will allow more of your units to engage a particular target in that manner, that's fine. My preference is, again, this large bio ball, move command into a more central area and let them shoot, so that more of my units are engaging a target. We're coming again closer and closer. We've got not too many buildings left. We've got half a day left. We're just closing in on 4 minutes of daytime left. We could theoretically get this mission completed before nightfall, or game nightfall, if you will. But we're going to pull back here when we get down to 16 remaining buildings. And again, your building count is up there in the left-hand corner. So keep that in mind. One more, and there we go.
This sector is clear.
We're going to take a break. We're going
Move on to
to
the next area.
have some coffee, smoke them if you got them, I guess, and just kind of chill out for the rest of the day until evening so that we can give you, one, the ability to get the Zerg achievements. 2, I'm going to show you a little bit, or give you an example again of what you'll face at night against these Zerg, and why it is important in my mind, and I hope in yours too, to isolate singular buildings in an area for when you're trying to attempt the hard achievement of destroying 15 buildings at night. The normal level achievement, by the way, is completing the mission before the end of the 4th night. And it's actually pretty simple. As you see, we got the forces. You'll have adequate time to do that. And at normal, even though the buildings are a little bit more substantial, the attacks aren't that traumatic, and you do have adequate day and nighttime periods. So, it's a good portion of this is how much time is available to you. Again, when you go from 8 minutes all the way down to 3 minutes at brutal for your daytime, it gets a little hairy. And in the meantime, you're being attacked for 4.5 minutes at brutal, or you're being attacked for 5 minutes at casual. And the attacks are definitely much more severe.
What's going on?
So, but anyway, here we go. We're gonna try to get our mission objectives of getting that Zerg research. And yet, I strongly recommend that you obtain all the research credits that the missions provide you. You want the upgrades, and there's some additional benefits that when we get to that level, we'll point them out to you. We're not going to give you all the spoilers yet, but the research credits are valuable to you as they translate into upgrades of your forces. We're going to close this mission out. In the short term, we've got quite an army here. We've just about exhausted the mineral fields. We can't build any more units.
Nightfall.
And the coffee break is just about over for our troops.
Sounds sweet.
So here we go. Let's rock and roll. People, get it done. I was going to give you some stats regarding our units, but I'm not going to do that right now, and we'll get into that a little bit further in another mission, or maybe not at all, as it could be a little dull for some of you. Anyway, here we go. Now you see all the, as we attack that particular building, the units had spawned. There's roughly 10 units there, and again, that's at the casual level. And that was an isolated building. Now I'll put 10 of those buildings in an area, and you've got now, if you will, 10 times 10 or 100 of those units coming at your army. You'll kind of get the meaning of why I say you need to get that done. There we just took out our first Zerg unit, and again, that was an investor. We got that one research available to us, or taken, have gotten that one research. We've got one more available to us. And again, that's exemplified by the little yellow cross. That's on the east side of the map. We've also, as we're getting closing in on the end of the mission, have all the remaining structures highlighted for us on the mini-map. And we will be able to complete this mission. There are a number of little buildings here, and you get a lot of the little zombie creatures out there. And again, when you're facing 90 to 10, you're in good shape. 90 to 110, you're not in such good shape. And again, bear that in mind. Isolate those buildings, very important. Here we're coming on a 2-building patch, and if you can sneak in and destroy the building as a focus fire, you can stop the hatch. So I want you to keep that in mind. I didn't accomplish that here, but the other thing too is that they continue to hatch as the time goes on. So in other words, we're watching them hatch, as we approach. They continuously hatch in hard and brutal level. And at the end of this mission, when we cover our stat board, you'll see that we've killed over 1,000 of these zombies at the casual level. I played one at the brutal level where I had to kill over 8,600 of them. That was quite a long mission. It was somewhat of an epic save for the victory, and it took forever to do, but just to kind of give you again what the differences are, some of the transition between casual and brutal is pretty severe, pretty significant. Now we're closing in on the last three buildings rather, structures. Of course we have overwhelming force. We're doing quite well. By the way, that third southwest portion will open up after tonight, or actually did open up tonight. And that's
What is that thing?
And the attacks
Was it
there
human?
get to be very, very difficult. You get a lot of aberrations out in that area. And they are probably the strongest
Base
unit
is under attack.
that you'll have to face. Again, at the above casual levels. So keep that in mind. Here we are. We got the last two buildings that we're going to destroy. At the casual level, it looks like a very simple mission. And it has been quite simple. It's been a little bit fun. I think if nothing else, it's fun to destroy all these things. In terms of challenge level, not very challenging at casual. I think it'll be more challenging for you
You
at
did it,
normal.
Jim.
And
I knew you wouldn't let us down.
hard, I'm
Now I've
hoping
got to
that
get my
you
people
achieve
somewhere
your
safe.
15 at night.
Ain't gonna be so easy.
At brutal.
This whole sector's
I hope you
crawling
make
with
it.
surge.
That's really where we
There's
are.
got to
But
be somewhere out there
this
the
mission
aliens haven't
is
touched.
just about over. There goes
Some undiscovered
Dr.
paradise waiting
Hansen's
just for us.
colonists off to their next world. And we're going to wish you the best. Hope you come back for the next training mission. Here's our summary board. We lost one unit. Achieved everything. Killed over 1,000 Zerg. So we've had a good night. Take care. Till next time. Hope to see ya. Bye bye.